I haven't come forth in a great many years because I didn't want to be relegated to another guest on a TV talk show. But I can assure you, Satanism is here to stay. Satan can take the form of a beautiful woman. Satan can take the form of a sleek animal. An automobile can be very satanic. These things can be anthropomorphized into Satan. Well, when I was a teenager, I was interested in the occult. And the occult in those days meant you got dream books, and you got books on fortune telling and all that sort of thing. The closest thing there was to anything about calling up spirits or demons and that sort of thing was a lot of gobbledygook where you stood around in a circle and you used the protective names of Jehovah and Jesus and all that. And I tried it. Oh, Lord knows I tried it, but it didn't work. And so I thought to myself, well, if I'm going to call up any demons, if I'm going to get any magical power, if I'm going to get anything going my way, I better get on the side of those guys instead of protecting myself from them.
Number 5 question is, who are you? Is that an important question? Or would you say, who am I? Not who you are, who am I? And if I tell you who I am, what does it matter? It will be out of curiosity, isn't it? It's like reading a menu at the window. You have to go into the restaurant and eat food. But merely standing outside and reading the menu won't satisfy your hunger. So, to tell you who I am is really quite meaningless. First of all, I'm nobody. Right? That's all. It's very simple as that. I'm nobody. But what is important is who you are. What have you? When they ask who you are, in that question is implied, you are somebody very great, therefore I'm going to imitate you. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you brush your teeth, or whatever it is. I'm going to imitate you. Which is part of our pattern, you understand? There is the hero, or the man who is enlightened, or the guru, say, I'm going to copy everything you do. Which becomes so absurdly silly, you understand? Childish to imitate somebody. And are we not the result of a lot of imitations? The religions have said, they don't use the word imitate, but give yourself over, surrender yourself, follow me, I am this, I am that, worship, right? All this is what you are. In school you imitate. Please, acquiring knowledge is a form of imitation. And course, there is the fashion, short dress, long hair, short hair, beard, no. Imitate. And also we imitate inwardly. So we all know that. But to find out who you are, not who the speaker is far more important. And to find out who you are, you have to inquire. You are the story of mankind. Which is really if you really see that, it gives you tremendous vitality, energy, beauty, love. Because it's no longer a small entity struggling in the corner of the earth. You're part of this whole humanity, which has a tremendous responsibility, vitality, beauty, love. But most of us won't see this. But whereas we are most of us concerned with ourselves, with our particular little problem, particular little sorrow and so on.
I love life very much, and it's been said that I can't possibly love life, that I'm a very unhappy man, or must be a very unhappy man. And I would say that I'm a very happy man, an extremely happy man, in a compulsively unhappy world. The Church of Satan would have nothing to do with something like breeders or abductions of children or stealing of animals or that sort of thing, because again, the question why certainly isn't very satanic to want to take anything against its will. Sex goddesses of the past have been largely as a result of luck more than anything else. However, in the case of Jane Mansfield, she was an active member of the Church of Satan and certainly under tragic circumstances left the Church of Satan. In the situation concerning Miss Monroe, that was a long, long time ago, long before the Church of Satan. However, she did have an unswerving interest in the dark side of life. And I think that was one of the main reasons that we managed to hit it off the way we did.
And to step out of that narrow circle seems almost impossible. Because we are so conditioned, so programmed like the computers, that we cannot learn something new. The computer can, but we can't. See the tragedy of it. The machine that we have created, the computer, can learn much faster, infinitely more than I can, than the brain can. And the brain, which has invented that has become ultra-intelligent machine. Right? Whereas our brain is sluggish, slow, down, because we have conformed, we have obeyed, we have followed. There is the guru, there is the priest, there is the rich. We follow. And when you do revolt, as the revolutionaries and the terrorists do, it is still very superficial. Changing the pattern of politics, of so-called society. Society is merely the relationship between people. And we are talking of a revolution, not physical, but the psychological revolution in which there is no, at the depth, conformity. We put on trousers, because you're in this country and you put on in India's different clothes. That's not conformity. That's nothing childish. But inwardly, not a feeling of conformity. Conformity exists when there is comparison. For a mind to be totally free from comparison, that is, to learn to observe the whole history which is embedded in you. To be aware what it means. To be aware of the trees, of the blue sky through the trees, of those hills beyond, of that noise of a motor, of the colors that are there in front. Just to be aware. And to be aware so choicelessly, you know very well that you can't change it. You can't change the mountains. You can't change the beauty of that sky. But when we are aware of what is, we want to transform it. We are endlessly active about it. And there begins sorrow. Because with the ending of sorrow is the beginning of wisdom. And the ending of sorrow is the understanding of what is. And the understanding of what is can only come when you observe, when you are aware, when the mind is incapable of wanting to change what is, which doesn't mean it is satisfied with what is. So, one has freed the mind, or the mind has freed itself from this everlasting search that's finished. And that means a tremendous burden off one's shoulder. Being free, you can look. And to look, you need great energy. And that energy comes only when there is this awareness without conflict. This awareness in which there is no conflict of any kind. Just observation. If I may most respectfully ask you, I'm putting a question to you. Why are you here? This is a serious question, as you are put to the speaker several other questions. Why each one of us is here in this not too nice weather, windy, and one hopes that you are comfortably seated. But why? Not that you are not seated comfortably, but why are we all here? Is it out of curiosity? Nothing better to do? I'm asking these questions most respectfully, not in any sense of impudence. Are we here to be stimulated, to be challenged, to have more energy or release energy, or merely intellectual flirtation? A good word. Or romantically, sentimentally, or some kind of help, wanting to be helped by another. If one put all these questions to oneself, what would be our answer? You might just as well ask the speaker why he is talking. Is it a habit? Is it he feels happy facing an audience, fulfilling, and that he needs an audience? All these questions must not only put to oneself but also to the speaker. And if we explore into that why we are doing what we are doing, with all this trouble, travail, and the anxiety and fear of all life, and if one doesn't find an answer, why the speaker is going on the various continents talking for the last 60, 70 years, is it a habit to him? He has tested it out, kept quiet for a year and more. And also, at one time, he talked behind a curtain to the audience, and he felt rather silly. And so he went before the audience. He has tested this out very carefully, whether he depends on another to fulfill, to be, to become, to feel famous, all that nonsense. Why, in his return, he's asking you, if he may respectfully, why we are all here. Is it old age? Because we have nothing else better to do? Is it that we really deeply want to understand ourselves? Is only acting as a mirror in which each one of us can see ourselves as we are. Not be depressed or elated to discover what we are. Is it that mirror, clear, sharp, every feature of it is so? There is without any distortion. And if that mirror is clear and you see oneself exactly as one is, then the mirror is not important. You can break the mirror without feeling any lack of luck. And if you can answer that question, it's rather serious. Why we behave as we do, as each one of us does, why we think in certain patterns, why we follow somebody, the crazier the better. Why? We store up all the things that one has said, that others have said. Why? There is nothing in ourselves that is ourselves. And to discover what we are, that ourselves, what deep-rooted seed, not only the cultural seed, the traditional, the religious, all the outgrowth of all that, but go very, very, very deeply in oneself to find out the origin of all things, not the cells and all that, not the genes that one has inherited, but much beyond all that. Shall we go into that a little bit? What is the origin? Not the biological and evolutionary process, the origin of all things.
Some time ago, the wire services and newspapers carried a story out of San Francisco describing the first satanic wedding ceremony ever performed. The pictures showed a nude woman lying on the altar behind the guest, whom you see now, the Reverend Anton Zandor LaVey. who is the founder and high priest of the First Church of Satan. Anton Szandor LaVey uses as somewhat of a credo this timeless quote: "Remember, evil backwards spells live."
Occurred to me until one of my disciples brought it forth, and I imagine it's quite true with many of us.
How often do you have to shave your head to make it shiny like a devil?
I have to put Vaseline on it as well to keep it shiny. I shave it once a day. Can I give a plug?
Is that the odor you're giving off now, Vaseline?
No,
That'll
that's
fool me.
That's musk.
That's musk.
That's the goatee scent you smell.
For sure it's not frankincense and myrrh. No. What is this ring you're wearing here? Looks like it's weighing your hand down.
Well, no, it's a magical ring.
It is?
I have little children rub it, make a wish, and it comes true.
Little children come near you?
Of course. Little children
What
and
kind of a
animals.
wish did that ring ever make come true?
Well, I would say a great many wishes, but we won't go into them.
Now, you call yourself a satanic priest.
Yes.
Is that the opposite of God?
No, because Satan is a god too.
Well, what are you then, the dirty pope or what?
Oh, I guess you could call me that if you want to say the black pope or the dirty pope or the advocate of, for example, the kingdom of night or darkness. No one's ever come forth so far and spoken up for the devil. Everybody that's made rules and regulations concerning the devil or the devil's work, the devil's activities, have been people that have been very righteous people during crusades, people.
Well, I'm not too righteous, but on the other hand, I think you're a bit of a dingaling. Let's face it. Were you ever a religious fellow?
I would say not particularly.
You're a young man.
I'm a religious fellow now, though.
How old are you?
I'm 36.
36. Who ordained you a satanic priest?
I would say probably I received the call. Just as any
Most of us
fundamentalist.
do, but we fight it.
Why fight it? This is, of course, the whole principle of my religion, is all of the
What do you mean you
concepts.
received the call? You mean one day the devil said, "Go out, Anton Szandor LaVey, and give people hell"? Is that what happened?
That's about it. That's about it. Because people like to have a hell of a time, don't they?
Well, of course, there are all kinds of definitions of that. Well,
This demands or asks, what is the creation? What is creation? Who created all this? The marvelous universe, everything living in it and out of it. What's the origin of all that? You want to go into all that? Sure. Why? As an amusement, a form of entertainment, something new. I'm afraid it's not anything like that. Our brains have extraordinary capacity. Extraordinary. Not ordinary, but beyond all ordinary things. When one observes all the technological world, what they have done and what they are doing and what they are going to do, tremendous advancement. The brain has this capacity. The computer is going to take over more and more. All our activity, more or less, except sex. And probably it can't look at the stars of an evening. But it's going to take over all our activity. It may bring about a new industry, new way of living. Without electricity, it may depend on light. They are having great competition. America and Japan, tremendous competition. And we'll all be slaves to that God. The computer. So we're saying the brain has an extraordinary capacity. But that brain has been restricted, narrowed down by our education, by our self-interest. I know you will hear all this, but you will do nothing about it. That's all right too. And that very brain, which has evolved for centuries, millions of years, that brain has become what it is now. Old, tired, with a lot of trouble, conflicts and misery. That brain, which is the center of all our existence, all our being, which is the future and the past. We went into it the other day. And this brain wants to find out what is beyond all this, what is the origin, the source, the beginning. Can it ever find out? You understand my question? Can it ever find out what is the source, the light, the beginning of all creation, of all things? Not only ourselves, but the tiger, the marvelous trees. Have you ever been very close to a wild tiger? No. We have been very close, almost touching it. Wild. And who brought all this about? The inexhaustible nature. And the rivers, the mountains, the trees, the plums, the groves, the orchards, and us. How will you find out? Please ask this question of ourselves. How will you, ordinary human beings like us, find out something which science, biology, and bio something or other, and the people who are digging into the earth, finding new cities? How will you find out? By following somebody? By making some gurus inexhaustibly rich? How will you go into this? That's my question to you. Who will answer it? Are you waiting for the speaker to answer it? or invent a new God. We'll say that he created it. That invention, that imagination is still part of the brain. So how will you find out? May I leave you with that question? What will you give to it? Give in the sense, your energy, your capacity, your enthusiasm, your passion, your whole time to find out. Or will you treat it like something, oh, I'm too busy today, I'll think about it tomorrow. Or it's a question to put to the old, not to the young generation. We are too young to think about all that. But how much energy will you give to it? Not seeking energy or releasing it, that's all too childish. May go on with these questions.
As a result of various reverse forms of therapy. I haven't been a satanic priest all my life, as you probably gathered.
You've probably been an inmate part of your life.
Well, an inmate in possibly a pretty big institution.
Are you at all afraid that someday, after you get through this big put-on, with your little red yo-yo and your big fat ring and your shiny bald head, that when they do pack you away,
now wait a minute.
If there's any justice, you've got to really get it.
Yes, sir.
Are you planning on training a lot of little devils?
Only those that wish to become little devils.
Are you married?
Oh, yes.
You have any little devils?
Oh, yes, I have two.
Are you going to raise them as satanic kids?
Certainly, but not to go around chopping people up or sacrificing human beings, just to...
That would be the greatest reward of all, if your kid some night would creep in and set fire to you and your lion.
Well, no.
And then dance around with pitchforks and say, look at Daddy, look at Daddy. Huh? Now, if you sleep with your lion, where does Mrs. Devil sleep?
Well, she sleeps with the lion, too, you see. Not between us, though. The lion's on one side.
Makes for a nice grouping.
I don't believe in separating church and state.
There's some people in the dock who would like to speak to you. We'll be going to the dock and the devil after these words. Well, listen, our time's all up. I'd like to tell you where to go, but you'd enjoy it.
Oh, that's good.
We'll be back with another guest after these words. Stand by.
Let me give you a little inside information about God. God likes to watch. He's a prankster. Think about it. He gives man instincts. He gives you this extraordinary gift, and then what does he do? I swear, for his own amusement, his own private cosmic gag reel, he sets the rules in opposition. It's the goof of all time. Look, but don't touch. Touch, but don't taste. Taste, don't swallow. And while you're jumping from one foot to the next, what is he doing? He's laughing his sick fucking ass off. He's a tight ass. He's a sadist. He's an absentee landlord. Worship that? Never.
Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven, is that it?
Why not? I'm here on the ground with my nose in it since the whole thing began. I've nurtured every sensation man has been inspired to have. I cared about what he wanted, and I never judged him. Why? Because I never rejected him, in spite of all his imperfections. I'm a fan of man! I'm a humanist. Maybe the last humanist. Who in their right mind, Kevin, could possibly deny the 20th century was entirely mine? All of it, Kevin! All of it. Mine. I'm peaking, Kevin. It's my time now.
Kindly give a straight reply. Does God exist or not? Yes or no? If yes, how best to realize Him in this life? It's a lovely question, isn't it? Kindly give a straight reply. Does God exist or not? Yes or no? If yes, how best to realize Him in this life? Man, throughout history, from the ancient Greeks, from the ancient Sumerians, have this idea of God. Right? I'm not at all sure whether in the Upanishads, whether they mention God at all. Or is it a later invention? You understand? So, what is God? We are investigating. I'm not attacking God. I'm not denying God. But we are investigating whether there is such a thing as God. Who invented God? Did God invent us? Did God create us? Right? God, who is omnipotent, potent, omniscience, eternal, merciful, justice, all goodness. Right? That's your concept of God. And if you say He has created us, then we are part of His image. We are part of Him. That is, we are omniscient, generous, loving, right? And eternal. Right? Are we? Or we think we are. You understand my question? If God created you, He must be an extraordinary entity, because he wants you to lead a terrible life. You understand my question? If God made you, why are you like this? You must be extraordinary human beings, mustn't you? Beautiful, full of joy, excitement, full of delight, but you are not. So either you have created God or God has created you. But if you examine very closely, you have created God. Right? In India, I was told there are about 300,000 gods and more. You can say, huh? Every local person has his own God. So, sirs, we have created God. See the irony of it. Thought has created God, and then thought worships the image which thought has created, which is to worship oneself and call it God. You understand all this? The better part of you is God, right? I wonder if you understand this. First of all, let's be clear. Have you created God? The local gods around the corner? Or the local God in Rome or in Tirupati or wherever? You have created them, haven't you? Huh? You're so very uncertain, aren't you? So frightened. If you say we have created, then you are scared stiff, because you have created out of your fear that. Out of your fear, you want security, right? You want safety. You want to feel there is somebody looking after you, because you are afraid. You follow? So you create that and then worship that. Just see what you are doing. Going to Tirupati and putting all your money in the bag. Do you think God wants your money? So look at it all. You have nothing but to offer but money, garlands, prostrations, rituals, right? You have nothing else to offer. Have you realized the tragedy of this earth? If you love, not God, that's very easy to love God, because it's so an abstraction, it has not much meaning. But if you love, that very love is God, if that very love is sacred, you won't go outside to look for God. You understand all this? And the questioner wants to know, if I believe in God, I don't. Because God is not something created by man. There is such thing as eternity. cease to be outside of time. Yes, sir. For that you must have a mind, a heart that is completely free from all the burdens of life. Right? From your vanity, your arrogance, your selfishness. You follow, sir? And we say, well, I'm not capable of it. Tell us what to do. You're back in the cycle. Somebody to tell you what to do. So you are in a jungle, you have to walk through it by yourself. Right? And for that you need vitality and vigor and strength. Not in belief in God, in goodness. Belief has no place where truth is concerned.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Lock your Soyuz hatch and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown, engines on. Detach from station and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade, and the papers want to know whose shirts you wear. But it's time to guide the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control. I've left forevermore, and I'm floating in a most peculiar way, and the stars look very different today. For here am I sitting in a tin can, far above the world. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing left to do.